Good evening, Mr. Tinubu Michael.
Good evening.
This is the Limited Affairs. You are now new to this program. We are looking at the issue that has to do with the whole Africa. I'm talking about not the whole Africa anyway, economic community of West Africa, as it has to do with Niger. It is no longer a rumor that there's a military takeover in Niger, and it's no longer a rumor that Mr. President, in collaboration with other member states of ECOWAS, have reached a resolution that they condemn the military coup in Niger. I know you condemn it as well. But the major challenge we have as a country, as a region, is that even with the diplomatic approach, the military personnel in Niger seem not to be willing to concede to democracy. And we have seen a situation where Nigerian Senate have rejected the request by Mr. President, Senator Bola Tinubu, for military invasion of Niger. What is your reaction to Senate rejecting that move by Mr. President?
There's always a saying that the worst military rule is, how would I put it?
Or maybe you're trying to say the worst democracy is better than the worst
military rule. But that is on the other side anyway. But let us look at actually what is the problem that led to overthrow of elected people in position of power.
Okay.
Even before now, there has always been agitation.
I think they cited poor governance.
Apart from poor governance, look at it from another perspective. Can such a thing happen in a place like America? Can a coup happen in a place like America? Can a coup happen in a place like Britain? Can a coup happen in some of these countries that have attained certain heights when you talk about democracy, that have deepened democracy sincerely?
Now, in your own view, what do you think may be the reason behind this military?
In that way, I'm trying to tell you. I just want to start from, the factors that might have led to dismantling of democracy in some countries as we witness in Africa now. There has been the influence of foreign powers in some of these countries over the years. I am not in support of military rule in any part of the world, but in a situation whereby certain influences as a result of colonization has refused to decline in the administration or democratic process of that nation, people will begin to look at themselves as still being under slavery. That one is apart. The colonialism we are witnessing in some of these countries in Africa is uncalled for.
But again, Mr. Tinubu, does it worry you that the citizens of Niger themselves, who perhaps the world think they want to protect, because I understand that even the European Union is a synergy with ECOWAS to see how they can oust the military out of power, but surprisingly, the citizens of Niger are in solidarity with the military. Does it bother you? Does it surprise you?
It does not bother me, because a hungry man is an angry man. Someone that has nothing to eat, that has nothing to take care of his family, has always looked for a solution. They said necessity is the mother of invention, and we have seen it happen over the years. You understand? Nigeria people might have seen the insurgency or the takeover of military power by the military as a solution to a long-time situations, bad governance in that country.
Yes, sir. There is also argued that Nigeria being a country that borders with Niger in about 7 states, Jigawa inclusive, Borno inclusive, and some other states, that if there is a military operation in Niger, that the humanitarian crisis that may come out of it, vis-a-vis the refugee, that Nigeria as a country may be overwhelmed in terms of our security. Is this something you support?
That is what I'm saying. That decision by Tinubu was done in a haste. There has to be a proper diplomatic solution before such a pronouncement by Tinubu should have been made. Let me give you an instances. For example, if such thing happens and the president maybe as a result that he just emerged as the ECOWAS president and you don't know the rudiments on how things should be worked out diplomatically, and you went as far as making such statement in a haste. We have seen the effect now. It's not going to work because if there's any form of military invasion in Niger Republic, of course we are attacking the Northerners. The Northern Nigeria will see it as a direct attack on them.
But if I may add, there are speculation in the media space that the new government in Nigeria, the military juntas, they have find their way to have a front tie with Russian government. I don't know if that is true. Do you think ECOWAS will have the boldness to attack Niger again?
That is what I'm saying. There was no proper brief to Tinubu himself before that statement was made, because there is this fear of Wagner mercenaries, trying to align with the military juntas or the military powers that have taken over some countries in Africa. Let me give you, for instance, Burkina Faso. Look at that young man and look at the categorical statement he came out with. You understand that they have been going through a lot. These politicians we have, they are looting. What they know is looting and looting and looting. There is no significant dividend. They can come out and say, this is what we have done for Africa, this is what we have done in African states, this is our blueprint agenda, this is where we are heading to. So people will always see military takeover as possible solution to their plight.
I was even going there because they say a heart divided against itself cannot stand, as you can see from the scripture, even from the scripture. Because for all, like what you just mentioned, Burkina Faso, Mali, Chad seem to be at variance with the position of ECOWAS. Do you think if ECOWAS go into war with Niger as a divided body, do you think they can succeed?
There's always been a scramble on Africa by some certain Western powers, including China and Russia. They want to see how they are going to have a direct effect on African states, so to say. So it will be very, very unfortunate for ECOWAS to think that there's going to be the military solution to what is happening now in some African states, as in military taking over power, is worthwhile. It is not worthwhile. They have removed him. What the military people ECOWAS should be talking about now is how do we now peacefully return a democracy, the constitutional power to the people, and not the use of force. They have a disagreement.
No, some people have argued that what happened is a spite and affront to the leadership of ECOWAS and not our president, because he recently assumed that office at the head of ECOWAS. Some have argued that hence he didn't have military background, that may have explained the reason those military personnel in Niger seized power. That if it were to be when a military retired war veteran head sway in Nigeria as a president, that perhaps those military in Niger couldn't have considered this option. Is this something you consider?
Because let me explain to you. It's not about whether he has military experience or not. The problem is that they have seen the illegality that produced what we have now as president, and they see it as that the giant of Africa, who are supposed to be a direction of how constitutional democracy should work, elections should work, are not taking the lead the way it's supposed to be. So those countries around might see these things as pure illegality, and that might have triggered what we are seeing now in some countries within a
now,
state.
Another area is Somebody are asking if after all diplomacy is exhausted and the government of the new military government in Nigeria seem to be unwilling to concede to democracy, what do you think will be the best approach to addressing it?
Dialogue.
What
There has never been a time diplomatic approach can be exhausted. Check out the history of the world. Now, it is in continuity as they are going to dialogue to find a possible diplomatic approach to the situation we are having now. It has to be in continuum.
That takes me to my next question. Now, we understand that dialogue is the best approach. Nobody is against that. But the question is, Mr. President already sent a high power delegation to Niger, and they turned down the Orlet Treaty to vacate power. And the way it stands, Nigeria may not necessarily go into that war because the Senate have turned down a request from Mr. President for a military operation. If what is happening in Niger, that government come to stay, don't you see that thing as a thing that will have spill over into other countries under ECOWAS?
Yeah,
the military taking over government in other ECOWAS country.
That's what I'm saying. That the injustice done.
Yes, fear you entertain.
I don't entertain any fear because see, what people want is leadership, whether it is military or otherwise. So far, the needs of the people are being met. That one is on the other side. But what we are talking about is civility in what the era the world is now. We need a civilian system of government. The military, it is not the right of the military to rule a nation. The military has its own fundamental power, so to say, as in trying to protect, to give a security so that people can live here and at the same time. But when the two things are lacking to the extent that the people became very wary, it is an issue. So my advice, what I'm suggesting that the ECOWAS states should do is to continue to mount pressure, dialogue, solicit, persuade. Persuade the forces that have taken over power to see how they can manage the situation and possibly return to democracy in those countries. And let me explain to you. You see, that's why people are talking about credibility. Does Nigeria have credibility? Does Nigeria have integrity? Have Nigeria actually showed leadership in Africa? It's missing. It's absolutely missing. So some people have argued that this is what have triggered what we are experiencing. That
the area was our going is, but from what you can see here, he say this is the Punch. He says senators in stormy session reject military invasion of Niger. And now we are hearing from the northern part of the country that the reason they are rejecting that military invasion is because if you have such military operation in Niger, that is going to affect the northern part of the country.
It's not only the northern part of the country, it's also going to
and again, that those military government in Niger may launch attack against Nigeria.
It's not only going to affect Nigeria will lose in total. The ECOWAS forces will lose in total because the majority of ECOWAS soldiers, so to say, are going to come from Nigeria, and our military are tired. Our military are overstretched. Our military cannot even defeat the Boko Haram that is ravaging, creating havoc. You see, I think people should go and sit down and think properly how to go about the solution, the immediate problem we are having now in some of those countries that military have taken over. It's not. I'm not in support of me. Thank God. Before now, people have kicked against it. Why are you talking about military invasion? If you are going to invade Niger, it's going to affect some northern part of the country. It's possibly going to affect, and it will trigger certain forces likely to be loyal to Wagner mercenaries in Russia to begin to, overthrow legitimate government in powers. And when you talk about democracy,
thank you. Let us now shift a little bit from that. Let us focus on our country, Nigeria. From what we are seeing here, it seems as if Mr. President is ready to hit the ground running, because the headline we are seeing here says ministers may resume August 16 as they shift Keyamo Mahmood's screening. Now, the question I want to ask is, people have argued that Keyamo name did not come immediately, and this is a man who was the spokesman of the APC Presidential Campaign Council. Is it that the Mr. President was not willing to appoint him as a minister, or it was a mistake, or what actually transpired in your own speculation?
I think there are about 25 of them that has come out to condemn the ministerial list so far, and of course the Senate screening, and the likes of Falake, the likes of the former governor of Ayade, Ben Ayade, Kayode, you understand, have come out to condemn or have reservation over where their name are not even being mentioned there. As I'm talking to you now, there's an underground meeting being carried out by these aggrieved 25 members of APC top members. As I'm talking to you now, you know, and it's uncalled for, having members, so to say, either willingly or not, to see that what they have now in they demand that, you know, certain positions should be given to them because they were part of the pillars that help Tinubu get to that position he is now.
Now, away from that, let us briefly look at another issue. We understand that in Nigeria, every stakeholder have agreed that for us to get it right in our oil and gas, our refineries must work. And it's on record that the past administration under Muhammadu Buhari spent about 1.48 trillion naira in trying to fix our four refineries, and as we speak, none is working. It's on record that Sirap was in court with Buhari's government over that expenditure before his government elapsed. Now, what we are seeing here is that Buhari's refusal to fix refineries as to economic woes. Now, do you think this current government under Tinubu have the power to fix the refinery? Because the president has said that one of the refineries will come on stream by December.
It was as a result of the pressure from the NLC that made him to make that statement. There has not been a plan before now to actually do the needful when you talk about Kaduna, Warri, and Port Harcourt refineries. If they are honest to themselves, why are they running after a private refinery owned by an individual? There's no sincerity in that. How much did they take to build Dangote refinery? How much will it take to revamp the Kaduna, the Warri, and the Port Harcourt refinery to full capacity? So what we are saying, this thing has always been there. Nigeria is not sincere with itself. So coming now to tell us that all this is a cock and bull story, Tinubu has misfired. There's no two ways about it. He has shown that he is not ready. What he wants is just to go there and become Mr. President 1 or 2 days. And he has shown that he has no capacity, he has no technical know-how, he has no knowledge on how to run Nigeria. Look at how he messed up the issue of fuel subsidy. Look at how he messed up the whole economy. Look at how some people argue that the president have reacted, because all you can see there is a proposed 500 billion intervention, and apart from that, Mr. President has proposed to roll out 3,000 vehicles that will run on compressed natural gas, and Mr. President has promised to give like 50,000 to each business that is under nano system. So do you not say if all this intervention comes on board, that Mr. President is not meaningful for Nigeria? Those interventions are cosmetic.
You think that cosmetic happen?
Yes, they are purely cosmetic. What happened to the micro scale production? We saw all these things happen over and over again. They roll out one intervention, 200,000 vehicles, and the end of the day, all those vehicles are nowhere to be found. All those money they say that are being looted by some certain powers. Those are not what we want.
How? Well, let me quickly remind Mr. Tinubu. Mr. President say they are going to give out 75 billion naira to 75 companies to kickstart our production sector, and the small and medium scale businesses will get 500,000, 1 million, as the case may be. That is in addition to the cash transfer that is going to the poor of the poor. Are you just saying that Mr. President did not mean well for Nigeria?
Let me tell you, that money you are just mentioning is definitely going to be monopolized by some certain people. That money you are looking at the end of the day, and as I'm talking to you, you are going to hear stories about it. That is not the solution, and that has never been the
Now, that
solution.
takes me to the last question as a random. You are saying that is not the solution. As a political affairs analyst, as a journalist who have been in the trenches, fighting for human rights and all that, what do you think is the solution to Nigerian problem? As we round up this program.
Let me make it very clear. It's a very clear thing. Let me give you an instances. When you talk about economic intervention, it has to be a policy. We have not seen Tinubu's policies in that regard. All we hear is roll out funds, roll out funds, roll out funds. That means we do not understand how an economic system can be revived.
So does it mean
yes? So what I'm explaining to you is that I'm seeing this thing as just a cosmetic approach to the numerous economic issues Nigeria has dabbled into over and became worse under Tinubu's less than 2 months government.
So that the government have no clue on how to solve Nigerian problem.
As I'm talking to you now, I do not see any direction in that regard.
1 minute.
Quote me. So, but if I were to advise him, I don't know how to advise somebody that has stolen, believed to have stolen people's mandate. But that notwithstanding, I want him, one, if you are increasing salary, you are increasing this one, you are increasing this bosses, this and that. Those things are cosmetic. What Nigerians need is this. Revive, since we are having a mono economy run by fear.
That's oil and gas sector.
Oil and gas sector, you should come, bring in experts that will tell you, okay, this is the way to go. Leave the system as it were. Get the Kaduna refinery working. Get the Warri and Port Harcourt refinery working. Do something on electricity. Then let us see how the forces of demand and supply will be able to be, drive the economy as it were now. We need, see, all these 500 billion for 20 million manufacturers, all these things are just mere talk. No, look at macro, small scale industry, people who are producing garri, people who are producing cassava, people who are producing one little thing or the other in various communities that will add value to economic activity. How do you streamline those things? Your policy.
So I just mentioned to you that the Nigerian businesses that fall under the nano program. We are talking about roadside traders that may not have store. Those are the nano business operators. We have the small scale businessmen. Those nano operators, Mr. President is saying they are going to get 50,000 each. There's a particular number per state. And when it comes to small and medium scale businesses, 1 million, 500,000 as case may be, depending on the number that is going to each state, we are seeing 75 businesses, companies that will get 1 billion each. Are you saying this is not enough to revamp our economy?
That's what I'm saying. You have seen what Buhari did. They didn't work. We have seen similar things.
Are you saying I'm better than
I'm
the
telling you, that's what I'm telling you now. We have seen similar things come on board, and at the end of the day, it fails. So how long will you continue to repeat some of these things that has no solution, immediate solution to the plight of a common man in Nigeria?
Thank you very much, Mr. Tinubu. I think this is a place to let it go.
Thank you very much.
You have done justice to almost all the areas. You understand this is MB Media Friends. If you are new to this channel, kindly like, share, and do not forget to hit the notification bell. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pastor.